Welcome back to part 9 of the indefinite integration series. Today we are going to learn three new formulas. The three formulas are as follows. Integration of 1 upon root of a square minus x square is sine inverse of x by a plus c. Integration of 1 upon root of x square plus a square is log of x plus root of x square plus a square plus c. Integration of 1 upon root of x square minus a square is log of x plus root of x square minus a square plus c. So the expressions on the left hand side are pretty similar to the formulas that we've learned in the fifth exercise. Of course, there are roots over here. In the fifth exercise, there were no roots over here. So the treatment of the sums is going to be quite similar to the treatment that we gave in the fifth exercise, but the formulas are completely different. So let us see the proofs for these three formulas. So the very first one, integration of 1 upon root of a square minus x square. Now, as per what we've learned in the previous video in part 8, when we see an integration of root of a square minus x square, we straight away put x is equal to a sine theta. So we are basically following what we've learned in the 8th part of this indefinite integration series. So we put x is equal to a sine theta, dx becomes a cos theta d theta. We substitute all that over here. So a cos theta upon a cos theta d theta, the whole upon root of a square minus a square sine square theta. And so a square is taken common, 1 minus sine square becomes cos square, and that comes out of the root as a cos theta. So a cancels, cos theta cancels. You're left with integration of 1 with respect to theta, which becomes theta plus c. Now what is theta? You know that sine theta is x upon a, and so therefore theta will be sine inverse of x by a. So you simply replace your theta by sine inverse of x by a and a plus c at the end, and that is your first proof. Now let's come to the second proof. Integration of 1 upon root of x square plus a square. Again, since your integration contains the root of x square plus a square, my substitution will be x is equal to a tan theta, dx becomes a sec square theta d theta. We substitute all this. So in place of dx we get a sec square theta d theta. In place of x we have a square tan square theta. In place of x square we have a square tan square theta. We take a square common, tan square theta plus 1 will become sec square theta. So it will come out as a sec theta outside, and so you will get a sec square theta d theta upon a sec theta. So a cancels, 1 sec theta got cancelled. Now integration of sec theta you know is log of sec theta plus tan theta. So now we need to get the values of sec theta and tan theta from the triangle as per what we've learned in the previous video. So you know tan theta is x upon a. So in the right angle triangle, the opposite side is x, the adjacent side is a. The hypotenuse is root of x square plus a square. So what is sec theta? Sec theta is hypotenuse upon adjacent, so that is root of x square plus a square upon a. So the value of tan theta and the value of sec theta will get substituted here. So sec theta will become root of x square plus a square upon a. Tan theta will become x by a. I have put a plus c1 instead of plus c. I'll explain that. Now obviously a is the LCM, so you'll get log of x plus root of x square plus a square in the numerator, and the denominator will be a. So if we apply the log properties, you'll get log of x plus root of x square plus a square minus log of denominator, so minus log a. So minus log a plus c1, this entire thing is a constant, so that will be written as plus c. So where c is minus log a plus c1, and so you get log of x plus root of x square plus a square plus c as what is required. Now the third formula is also proved in a similar way. It's just that since you have 1 upon root of x square minus a square, your substitution will be putting x is equal to a sec theta, dx becomes a sec theta tan theta d theta. All this gets substituted, so dx is a sec theta tan theta d theta. In the place of x square, now you have a square sec square theta, so you take a square common, sec square theta minus 1 is tan square theta, so that would come out as a tan theta. When a got cancelled and tan theta got cancelled, you're left with sec theta, whose integration is log of sec theta plus tan theta. Again we've written a plus c1 here. Now we have to just get the values of sec theta and tan theta from here. So you know sec theta is x upon a, so your hypotenuse is x, your adjacent side is a. Of course this side will be root of hypotenuse square minus side square, so root of x square minus a square. So tan theta being opposite upon adjacent will become root of x square minus a square upon a, and that is what we substitute in place of sec theta and tan theta. Again we do the same thing as the earlier proof. We take LCM as a, and so you'll get log of x plus root of x square minus a square minus log a, and plus c1 will be replaced by c, and so you get your answer. You get your proof as proved. Log of x plus root of x square minus a square plus c. Now let us see two types, and also we will be doing problems based on the formulas that we just proved. We are going to come across such a type where you have integration of dx upon root of ax square plus bx plus c, or you'll have integration of px plus q upon root of ax square plus bx plus c. Pretty similar to the types that we learnt in the fifth exercise. Now let us see the first problem. You have integration of root of 16 minus 9x square. So 16 is written as 4 square and 9x square is written as 3x whole square. So this is the first formula, 1 upon root of a square minus x square. So what is that? That is sine inverse of 3x by 4. But the coefficient of x is 3, so you'll have to divide by 3 plus c. That is quite simple. Now question number 2. We have integration of 1 minus x upon root of 1 minus x square. So it is pretty much of this kind. Now what do we do in such a type? We will look for the derivative of the term inside the root. So 1 minus x square, the derivative is minus 2x. So in the numerator, we don't have any use of this 1 to get the derivative of 1 minus x square. We just need x. We need x for the derivative of 1 minus x square. So we will immediately split this up. So 1 upon root of 1 minus x square is a separate integration sum, plus, and I've taken this minus x inside, upon root of 1 minus x square. So I have separated or I have split up across this minus sign, but I have incorporated the minus sign inside. Now why do I do that even? This is left untouched. Let us concentrate on the second part. Now like I told you, try to get the derivative of the term inside the root, which is the derivative of 1 minus x square, which is minus 2x. So currently we have minus x, so we've just multiplied and divided by 2. By doing that, we have ensured that the second integration is now f dash x upon the root of f of x, what we've learnt in the second exercise. F dash x upon root of f of x, remember, integration of f dash x upon root of f of x is 2 root f of x plus c. So we have now been able to get the second integration part in some type. So and the first part of the integration is your formula that we learned today, 1 upon root of a square minus x square, which is sine inverse of x by a. So this will become sine inverse of x by 1, or just simply sine inverse of x, plus half, and like this is f dash x upon root f of x, so that is 2 root f of x, so it will become 2 root 1 minus x square plus c. The 2 and 2 got cancelled and you get this final answer, sine inverse of x plus root of 1 minus x square plus c. Moving to the third question now. You have integration of 1 upon root of 9 plus 8x minus x square. Now like I told you, we are going to treat these sums quite similar to the type in exercise 5. So when you see a quadratic equation in the denominator, but now in this case you have a root as well, you will still be completing squares. So what is the first thing to do when we complete squares? Ensure that the coefficient of x square is plus 1. So between 8x and minus x square I have taken a minus common. So in the bracket we get x square minus 8x, whereas this 9 is written as it is. Now what is the last term? The last term is half into coefficient of x the whole squared. So half into minus 8 the whole squared, so that becomes minus 4 square, which is 16, which means we'll have to add 16 and subtract 16. So in the integration now we have dx upon root of, we've added a 16 in this bracket, so x square minus 8x plus 16, but effectively it is minus 16, which means we'll have to add a 16 to the 9 outside. So 9 plus 16 becomes 25, which is 5 square, and x square minus 8x plus 16 is x minus 4 whole squared. So now again this is the first formula, 1 upon root of a square minus x square. So that will become sine inverse of x minus 4 upon 5 plus c. Moving to the next question now, question number 4. Now in this case we have integration of x plus 3 upon root of x square plus 2x plus 2. Now this is clearly this format. Now like I told you, whenever you have a linear expression in the numerator and a quadratic equation in the denominator under a root, we will try to get the derivative of the denominator in the numerator, or the term inside the root, the derivative of the term inside the root in the numerator. So x square plus 2x plus 2, the derivative is 2x plus 2. So we need this x and we also need the number. we'll first get 2x, so we'll multiply and divide by 2, so you get half outside, you have 2x plus 6. Now you want 2x plus 2, so we will split the 6 as 2 plus 4. So 2x plus 2 in a bracket plus 4 outside, and now we will split this root of x square plus 2x plus 2 across this plus sign. So in the first part now we have very clearly an f dash x upon root f of x, which at the end will become 2 root f of x. But in the second part now you have plus half into this 4 upon root of x square plus 2x plus 2, where this 2 and this 4 got cancelled, you got 2 here. And now in 1 upon root of x square plus 2x plus 2 we will complete squares. So that's quite simple. Half of 2 is 1, 1 square is 1. So we need to add 1 and subtract 1, or you simply split up the 2 as 1 plus 1. So you have x square plus 2x plus 1 plus 1 over here. So that will become x plus 1 whole squared plus 1 squared. So that is your second formula, 1 upon root of x square plus a square. Meanwhile, the first part is anyways ready to be integrated. So that is half into, this is 2 root f of x, because this is f dash x upon root f of x. So that will become 2 root x square plus 2x plus 2. Here 2 and 2 got cancelled. Plus 2, and this is 1 upon root of x square plus a square. So that is log of, you write x, which is x plus 1 in this case, plus root of x square plus a square is this square plus this square, but that if simplified gives you x square plus 2x plus 1 plus 1, which is nothing but x square plus 2x plus 2. So you can simply write root of x square plus 2x plus 2 instead of root of x plus 1 whole squared plus 1 squared. So you can just simply write this quadratic equation over here directly. At the end you have a plus c. Now let's come to question number 5. We have integration of sec square x upon root of 2 tan square x plus 3 tan x plus 3. So first of all we will do what we've done in exercise 6, which is substitution. Put tan x equal to t because its derivative is clearly present here with the dx. So sec square x dx becomes dt. By doing that, you've now reduced this expression into a quadratic expression in which we can now complete squares. So dt upon root of 2t square plus 3t plus 3 is what you got. Now for completing of squares, the first thing you need to do is make sure that t square coefficient is 1. So you will take 2 out common, but when you get the 2 out common, it will come out as root 2. So 1 by root 2, and you have integration of 1 upon root of t square plus 3 by 2t plus 3 by 2. So now for completing of squares, we will take half of the coefficient of t, so half of 3 by 2 whole squared. So that's 3 by 4 whole squared, which is 9 by 16. So we will have to add 9 by 16 and we'll have to subtract 9 by 16. So that's what we've done in this step. So this part will now become t plus 3 by 4 the whole squared plus over here now 3 by 2 minus 9 by 16. The LCM is 16. So you'll have to multiply this 3 by 8. So that's 24 minus 9 over here. So 24 minus 9 will become 15. So that will be 15 by 16 or root 15 by 4 the whole squared. That will happen in the next step. So 1 upon root 2, 1 upon root of t plus 3 by 4 whole squared plus this is root 15 by 4 the whole squared. So this is again 1 upon root of x square plus a square, the second formula that we've learned today. So 1 by root 2 log of, you will have t plus 3 by 4 plus root of, and you will get this square plus this square, but then you can simply just write the quadratic equation in the simplified form, which is t square plus 3 by 2 t plus 3 by 2. So that is what we write over here in place of root of t plus 3 by 4 whole squared plus root of 15 by 4 whole squared. We write root of t square plus 3 by 2 t plus 3 by 2 mod close plus c outside, and then we have to simply resubstitute t back as tan x. So that's what we've done here. We've put tan x in place of t here as well. So tan square x plus 3 by 2 tan x plus 3 by 2 plus c at the end. Now let us look at the last problem, question number 6. We have integration of root of x minus 5 upon x minus 7. Now let's simplify this by multiplying and dividing by root of x minus 5. So when we do that, the numerator, the root goes away, so you get x minus 5 here, and in the denominator you have root of x minus 7 into x minus 5, which when multiplied will give you x square minus 12x plus 35. And so now this comes in the type that we are learning today, px plus q upon root of ax square plus bx plus c form. Again we will try to get the derivative of the term inside the root in the numerator. So you want 2x minus 12. So first of all we'll multiply and divide by 2. So you got 2x minus 10. So you write the minus 10 as minus 12 plus 2. and then you split this root across this plus sign. So the first part will be half into integration of 2x minus 12 upon root of x square minus 12x plus 35. So that's f dash x upon root of f of x. So at the end we've integrated that as 2 root f of x. That we'll do at the end, but we need to simplify the second part. So that's plus half into 2 upon root of x square minus 12x plus 35. So this 2 and 2 got cancelled. You have root of x square minus 12x plus 35, completing of squares in this. So half of minus 12 is minus 6 square is 36. So you'll have to write a 35 as 36 minus 1. This part becomes x minus 6 whole squared minus, and this 1 is written as 1 square. So this is the third formula, 1 upon root of x square minus a square. Meanwhile, the first part, like I told you, this is half into, and this is f dash x upon root f of x. So that has become 2 root f of x. So 2 root x square minus 12x plus 35. Whereas the second part, you have, like I told you, 1 upon root of x square minus a square, the third formula. So that is log of x minus 6 plus root of, and that is x minus 6 whole squared minus 1 square, or which simplified is 1 upon, which is root of x square minus 12x plus 35 plus c. I hope these sums were clear. Until next time, goodbye.